Hello, everyone, and welcome to Learn Easily, the podcast where we explore fascinating topics and improve our English skills at the same time. I'm John.
And I'm Emma. Today's episode is titled, How to Speak Fluent English Without Hesitation. We'll be discussing tips and strategies to help you speak English more confidently and naturally.
Before we dive in, let's go over some key vocabulary you'll hear in today's episode. Here are a few words and phrases we'll cover. A fluent is the ability to speak or write smoothly and easily. A hesitation, a pause or delay due to uncertainty or fear. A confidence, a feeling or belief that you can do something well or succeed. A practice, repeated exercise or performance of an activity to acquire proficiency. A natural, something that is done easily and without effort.
Got it? Great. Now, let's listen to a dialogue inspired by a real podcast. In this conversation, two friends talk about their experiences with speaking English fluently and overcoming hesitation.
Michael, I've been trying to improve my English fluency, but I always hesitate when I speak. It makes me feel so unsure of myself.
I know what you mean, Laura. I used to struggle with that too. It's like my mind goes blank when I need to speak quickly.
Exactly. I think part of the problem is that I'm always afraid of making mistakes, so I hold back.
That's completely normal. I found that the key is to stop worrying so much about being perfect and just focus on communicating.
You're right. I've heard that practicing speaking out loud, even if it's just with myself, can help reduce that hesitation.
Yes. And listening to native speakers and repeating after them also helps build confidence and make speaking feel more natural.
I'll definitely try that. I guess the more I practice, the less I'll hesitate when speaking.
Exactly. Fluency comes from practice, and over time, you'll feel much more comfortable and confident.
Welcome back. That was a great dialogue between Laura and Michael. Let's review some of the key phrases and vocabulary they used.
First, we heard fluency. Laura mentioned how she hesitates when speaking, which affects her fluency.
Right. And Michael talked about the importance of practice in overcoming hesitation and building confidence.
Yes, they also touched on how practicing out loud and shadowing native speakers can help you speak more naturally.
Exactly. It's about not being afraid to make mistakes and focusing on the flow of conversation instead of perfection.
Now, let's dive into a quick debate. John, do you think that focusing too much on grammar while speaking can cause hesitation, or is it necessary to avoid mistakes?
That's a good question, Emma. I think focusing too much on grammar while speaking can slow you down. Fluency is more about communication than perfection, so it's better to let the conversation flow and worry about small mistakes later.
I agree. Fluency doesn't mean speaking without mistakes. It means speaking smoothly. If you're constantly thinking about grammar rules, it might create more hesitation.
Exactly. It's about finding a balance. Practice makes perfect, but you shouldn't let the fear of mistakes stop you from speaking.
Well put. The more you speak, the more natural and confident you'll feel. It's all about building that confidence through experience.
That wraps up our discussion for today. We hope you found this episode helpful for learning how to speak English fluently without hesitation.
Remember, it's all about practice and not being afraid to make mistakes. Thank you for tuning in.
Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more interesting topics and English learning tips. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.